And then we're going to do, now if you want to do the cylindrical mapping way, you can do that too. I'm going to go ahead and save my scene so I can bring this back, see which one's better. And I'm going to type in 15 on that. Okay, don't want to open that. I want to save as. Export selection. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this. File, save scene as. Let's do 15 on that one. Okay, so if I do a cylindrical mapping, I just go into UV and cylindrical and just click on project. Then I go to my UV editor and it lays it out the best it can. Of course, here's the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click over and go to UV shell, and just with UV shell you got a couple more things to do that can be kind of a problem. So what I end up doing is I only want to select the bottom and all the top pieces, right? So let me show you how I select my pieces. So I'm going to go into, I think that's the front view. Yeah, the front view. And I'll show you how to select the faces to do the rest of the UV mapping. So I'm going to do Control 1 to isolate it. I'm going to go to face mode. That's what you want to do. You want to select the whole thing. And then you want to select from, and hold the control key down and select from this part down, because you can see that now I've only selected the bottom, okay? And with this one, this gets a little tricky. Then you hold the control key and you want to do a fine marquee selection of deselect there, okay? So this is what your selection should look like. And if you hit the 4 key, you can see that we got all the outside pieces here and the top pieces selected, which is what we want to do. And that makes it, you know, when you're able to select with the marquee select and you get really good with that, you can see that I can select exactly what I want in a very quick manner. So I'm going to go to UV and then do planar mapping. Okay. And this planar mapping is going to be in the Y direction. So I'm going to click project. And this is it right here. So I'm going to click on it, go to UV shell, select the shell, any shell, and just move it out of the way. We don't want these touching each other. Okay. Now these can be, these really can't be overlapping, but we'll just, you can keep it in there if you want to, but I usually try to pull it away. Okay. It's whatever you want to do, but sometimes you get errors with that. So I'm going to go in here and you can see that my textile density should be something like 53.15. So I'm going to set that. So you can see that popped it right in there perfectly. By setting that, I'm going to pull that up like that. Okay. And we're going to pop this in. Let's go ahead and select, smooth that down a little bit so we can marquee select these guys and then do the set. You can see that made that a lot smaller. Okay. And these pieces are all separate. And it doesn't really matter what you do with these. You can put these on top somewhere. Because remember, we're going to be doing, on the bottom, we're going to be adding the windows, right? And this is where it gets a little tricky because the windows are small, you know, and so I'll let you guys pack all this stuff. This is where it gets a little monotonous here. Everything's scaled right. Textile density is good. But all these little pieces are kind of a pain. And we've got to get the windows now. So that means we're going to have to select all the UVs for that and pull them away, because when we did the UV mapping of the cylindrical map, it grabbed the windows too. And there's no getting around that. So now we have to go back, and this is where the pain comes from, where you've got to go in here and select your faces for these, this is the second time I've done this. That's how it goes. And select the windows, and you'll do an automatic map on these, and with just these pieces selected. That way it'll lay them out nicely for you. But again, there's no easy way of doing this. So you just got to find which one is best for you, which way you want to go. You want to do automatic mapping like I did before, or you want to continue, or you want to do cylindrical mapping and then do all this other stuff too. It's really up to you what you decide you want to do. I think they're both time consuming. I think this one is more time consuming than the other way. But you can choose which way you want to go. So once those are selected, there's no really easy way to selecting these. It's just time consuming. There we go. All right, you can see in my UV map, I've actually got some stuff selected. So I'm gonna hold the control key down and deselect them by using the marquee tool. So now I'm gonna go into UV and into automatic map. I don't really have to do anything here, just click on it. And there they are. And we know that our textile density should be set at that level here. So I'm going to go to UV shell and then click on set. You can see they made those a lot smaller. So now all I have to do is go ahead and take these UV shells and move them and pack them in. So we'll do that. I just pack these windows in. Like so. Okay, let's move those over here. Let's just get these closer. There we go. Alright, and then it's just the fact of packing these in. And I think you get the idea. And then these kind of went wonky on me, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can straighten those out. Down at the bottom, go into orient shells, and that should do a better job. Okay. All right. So, and that's kind of loosely packed here. It won't matter because when I paint these black, they're all going to be just part of that black paint job that I'm going to do for the windows. I'm just going to kind of get them clustered over here a little bit away from the other objects. So we got a little bit of room. There we go. So that's basically that. I'm going to select these and just do an orient real quick. Doesn't really matter for that. And so you'll go ahead and do a UV snapshot. I've already done one. Not really liking this one. It's really up to you how you want to do this. And I'm going to continue using the automatic mapping method. And if you're more comfortable with the cylindrical mapping, go for it. That's fine. Okay. Just remember to, when you do your UV shells, that you set your textile density for all the pieces. All right, that's it. Save out your object, and we'll come back with the next video, and we'll start knocking these out. Okay, we'll get back to the next video, and we'll start knocking these out.